Yeah, sorry about that. I've got an AFC and 49 areas, so how does that play into the Beer-Lambert law? Yeah, the Beer and Lamington law, and the extinction coefficient sort of thing. Because in a way, we sort of keeping the same colour. Haven't we doubled the extinction coefficient? Is that too simple a way of viewing it by adding the nickel to the copper? We've halved the concentration of the thing but kept the same intensity, the same blue colour. So in a way, we've doubled the extinction coefficient. Is that one way of looking at it? I don't know. Now the thing I want to know is if this is going to actually stay stable and not rust, and that will be interesting. So the reason I'm doing iron, of course, and then I'll do manganese, is because they talk about the two forms of iron in the early days of micronutrient research. But the other thing is they talk about algae in general, in plural. That's one of their key elements is iron. You know, putting iron into the ocean and all that thing, you can cause algal blooms and things like that. And of course then you've got the, not the red craze, the red field ratio, I believe it is. Red craze. I got a street next, one of my local streets is a red craze street. So anyway, I'll keep doing this, and then I'm going to do a manganese, and maybe I should do a ammonia manganese one as well, but we'll see. We'll keep plugging out these and we'll keep getting data back and we keep projecting ourselves forward. But the way I think I'm heading, by the end of summer I'll be making up some pots with just sand, polystyrene, and I'm thinking chicken breast. Now, chicken breast is going to replace the ammonia because I'm thinking it's an organic form of generating ammonia and it's not really salty sort of thing. So trying to get rid of the odor, get the salt out there. But the salt does have effects, which we seem to be replacing to a certain degree, to some extent, with the polystyrene. And that could be where the sand used to fit in as well, but we didn't realise maybe the sand, if you had the right sand, was generating some reductive flammable gas. But on a large macroscopic ecological scale, vast stretches of sand, which is the continent with the most sand, I think, you can push Saudi Arabia to one side and say, well, maybe Australia's one big giant sand island. In a way, we do have the largest offshore sand island in the world, and we got that record. So I might end up just using sugar, sweetness in the water, and chicken breast fillet sort of thing, and chopping it up into little cubes or something, or maybe even Mulinexing it or something like that, and putting it together with polystyrene, some sand to just cover up all the inclusions, the interstices between the polystyrene, so there is nice good water capillarity, continuity sort of thing between all the stuff, because polystyrene will have a tendency to dry out if it doesn't stay permanently wet sort of thing, And so, anyway, we'll see how we go with that one. I don't know if I can get a close-up on that, or how close I can get with this camera. Touching the lens. And that one's sort of changing now, getting even more red. Maybe because it's out of the intense sun or something. So that's really interesting. Another one I want to set up probably is to actually just take some of that, put it into a thing with just polystyrene in it. So all it is just water with reductive flammable gas being generated in it, and see how that organism thing, does it suddenly goes back from red to green, or does it become even a darker red, maybe even a purple? I mean, is that how you get your purple fly traps? I'm just wondering. Anyway, the other thing is this Phragmites in here, back at this end of this book, somewhere along here, at the back, it was talking about, or is it at the front, talking about comparisons of peat, and it had there is substrate, minerals, blah blah. What's that about? Cation exchange. That's vermiculite. Somewhere in the peat set. Here we go. Yeah, Phragmites australis compared to sphagnum and cotton grass, Scirpus type. And this one, look at the lignin content of that. It's well, I wouldn't say it's double, but it's getting pretty. If it got up to 60, it would be double that of sphagnum. So interesting. And the protein content. So the thing, that's a grass. It's like lawn clippings in a way. So maybe I'm onto something there with the lawn clippings. But also the other thing is maize and sugarcane are grasses, and doesn't maize have a particular symbiotic relationship with its roots? And aren't they red? Aren't they red like this? Don't you see on the ground of things green and red? I'm just wondering whether it's all coming together. And I think maybe the salt is a sidetrack. It's the generation of reductive flammable gas. Take the salt out, replace it with polystyrene, and we may be getting places faster, sort of thing. It seems to stabilise the iron. Whether it will keep this one stabilised, no. It looks like it's starting to rust on the top there. So I reckon that's all going to rust, but that might be beneficial. We might discover something along the way. But okay, yeah, it looks like it's going to try and rust on the top there. So I think we've lucked out on that one, but we'll see. You never know. Might be that's the ticket. That's the go. You've got to have a combination between the hydroxide, because iron is one of these elements that can actually fix nitrogen from the atmosphere. So we'll see how we go. Anyway, I think that's about it for this thing. 13 seconds on the card. So let's just take a front cover of Sir Alfred Daniel Hall, and the back cover that has the actual label. Sir Alfred. I used to call him. What did I call him?